Hey everybody, back again. Just wanted to share some more cool stuff that I'm learning about my edible plants in the garden. What you see here is something called goosefoot. Apparently there's many similar plants in this family, and they all have slightly different names, but this is edible. You can actually eat these little leaves. They're really tasty. They almost taste a little bit like spinach, and they're actually quite good, I think. Have a little bit of a salty taste, and they're quite soft and kind of velvety. Pretty nice texture and everything. I really actually enjoy eating these now. My brother is a heck of a knowledgeable person when it comes to edible plants and all sorts of things related to permaculture, and he pointed out to me that these are edible. And there's a lot of similar plants in the same family that you probably recognize, things like quinoa and amaranth, I think, is related, and lamb's foot, I think, is something that is also called pig's weed. These are all like very similar plants, and they are edible. They're actually really good for being in your garden, because a lot of bugs and various animals like to eat this, so this is actually preferred for them over some of the crops that we would normally want to eat, like you know, spinach and other things. So you can actually leave these in your garden, and it helps prevent pests and stuff from eating the plants that you want to eat. But naturally you can eat this as well, and it's quite delicious. Right behind it you can actually see another plant that's edible, which is the stinging nettle. That is right back here, and as its name implies, it has these little sharp, prickly kind of little things that grow on it, and you can kind of see it there. You can see the little sharp I don't know what you would call them, but barbs, I guess. And they are quite a skin irritant. So if you go into a big patch of this stuff, especially once it's very mature, it will really sting the heck out of you. But if you take off one of these little leaves that are like just the fresh growth, you can actually eat those, use them in teas, do all sorts of stuff. You can use this stuff to make like a compost tea, and you can use it as a pesticide. You can use it as like food for your plants as well, spraying from the compost tea. So quite useful things. Right behind here we have clover. That's also edible. Has kind of like a lemony, tangy kind of flavor. Yeah, so these are all kind of things that you can just scoop up and eat, and another good reason why you don't want to use chemicals in your yard. You know, I'm confident that everything here is organic because I don't use and spray anything, and I feel confident eating this stuff straight off the growth. So this is actually quite good. I just wanted to share this with you, and you can see I've got a huge patch of stinging nettle growing back there. I'm actually going to kind of chop back some of that, but you know, it does grow back like a weed, and so does this goosefoot stuff. You can see it kind of growing in among my raspberries. You can see it growing kind of over there as well by the fence, and then you can see a whole big batch of it here. So you can pick this stuff like spinach, throw in your salads. It's quite good, very nutritious. And one thing you do want to note about it is that I've read that this contains a lot of, I think it's called oxalic acid, whatever this stuff is that you find in spinach. It's the same thing, so you just don't want to eat too much of it, because I think it can block absorption of certain vitamins, like maybe it's calcium, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, or minerals, I guess, because that's not a vitamin. But anyway, just thought I'd share that, and yeah, I'm going to point out some other things that are edible as well, and that many people just regard as weeds. But the plants look quite nice, I think. I don't even really mind where they grow up. They seem pretty cool. Alright, one more thing to share. What have we got here? It's horseradish. And I think this is the really funny thing to point out, that this is just growing here fortuitously in the middle of our driveway, going up towards the back of the yard. Didn't plant this, have no idea how it got here. Obviously it's probably like a wind-borne seed or something, and it's just growing in a bunch of different places. You can see it right here, you can see it over here on the side, over there in the little, you know, decomposing pile of weeds and junk, and back there as well, a little bit back, and here as well. So there's actually quite a bit of it. The soil here is actually very, very poor. It's almost like just dirt and gravel, and very rocky. you can see like it's mostly gravel, and I don't even know how it's growing out of here. It's pretty amazing. But I intend to actually transplant some of these and move them into my backyard proper, where they will get a little bit of a better growing condition, I think. And I love horseradish. It's great. You can use it on a whole bunch of different kinds of things. I like putting away beets and pickling them, and it's great to put fresh horseradish in there. I'll probably show you guys that at some point. But yeah, this is fantastic. This stuff is just growing for free in my yard. Most people would just see this as a weed and just be like, oh, let's rip it out. But I look at it as, hey, that's great free food that we can just harvest and eat. So just thought I'd share that with you. And yeah, that's it.